Happy Monday, Flosstube. 2 videos in one day. But this is the only video that I'm recording today. Yesterday, the other video I recorded last night. So, it's been a crazy day. Crazy, amazing day. So, I am just here for a quick little update because I don't have very much stitching to share. I really tried. I wanted to participate in Jen Lee's. She had an unofficial 24-hour of cross stitch event. I was aiming for 12 hours. I only did 6. And those were the Friday off the grid party hours. I managed to stitch for all 6 of those hours. There might have been some Facebook and Instagram scrolling that happened in those 6 hours, but I still had a pretty fun time. So I'll show you what I was working on in a little bit. Wearing my Silver shawl today. This is a pattern by Lisa Much. M-U-T-C-H. She's a Canadian designer and she has a beautiful yarn company. She's a yarn dyer, NBK Knitting, and her yarn is beautiful. So this is a freebie pattern actually. It's called the Zilver, Z-I-L-V-E-R shawl. It's quite simple, and I knit this out of a lovely Blue Moon Fiber Arts wool, and it's some delicious blend of alpaca and I don't know, some other soft yumminess. But the color name, the reason I'm telling you about this, because the color name of this shawl, it's called Pond Scum. I don't know, but I love the color. It's not the most flattering color on me because it's not really great for my coloring, but I love the color so much, I don't really care. So, but I love it. It's cozy and it's warm, and anyways, that's all about my shawl. This is a stitching podcast. This is a Flosstube podcast. My name is Caroline, and welcome back if you're coming for another visit, and hello if you're new. I hope that you'll enjoy visiting with me today. So every Monday I do a little giveaway. It happens over on the Facebook group, Friday Off the Grid. Last week's chart that I had for giveaway was a JBW Designs called Apple Orchard. And I mentioned last week that I put these up late on Monday night, and sometimes I forget and they're a little bit later after I put the video up. Well, last week I really forgot. And this chart didn't go up until Thursday. So that was completely my own fault. It was, here's the thing. I haven't told you guys this yet. I've been having major troubles with my videos, with editing the videos. And I have I know it's because my phone updated. You know, when you plug it in at night and you leave it overnight and it updates all on its own without you really telling it. And I know, I'm sure there's a setting where I could set it not to do that, but me and the technology, sometimes I just, you know, kind of give it a wing and a prayer and hope for the best. Well, yeah, it updated on its own. And ever since it updated, I have been having no end of problems importing the video from my phone to my computer where I edit these videos in iMovie. And I have a feeling it's because I need to update my computer. But I don't want to update my computer because you know what happens then. Nothing works the way that you're used to. And so I've been putting that off. I'm also running a really, really old version of iMovie. And I know that I'm probably going to have to update that at some point. But I need time to do all that, and I need time to relearn certain things, and I'm a little short on the time at the moment. So I'm kind of putting a Band-Aid over it, and I figured out a workaround, but it's not easy, and it's been a huge pain in the tuchus. So, needless to say, I completely forgot to put the drawing up. So on Thursday, I put it up. I had 53 comments on this chart. This morning, the random number generator chose comment number 16, which was Teresa Atkinson. So congratulations, Teresa. This little chart is going out in the mail to you. And all of the charts that haven't gone out in the mail yet are going to be out this weekend. Is when I am going to be sitting down and going through the stack of charts that need to be sent out into the world, and they will be on their way. That's the plan. John is finally, the cottage is now closed up, and he just did that this weekend. And if you follow me on my personal Instagram page, which is at Off the Grid Needlearts, I posted a photo of the boat on the weekend because it snowed up there. They had a very cold ride over, and it snowed and it rained and it hailed, and it was all the weather events happened. But they are safely back on mainland, and actually, as we speak, they're driving home. So they should be home around 4:30 this afternoon, and looking forward to a family dinner tonight with them. What that means is, since the cottage is now closed, we now are approaching, well, we're in now the next kind of season of our family year schedule, where we're all kind of in the same place at the same time. Because usually I'm at the cottage and John is here at work, or he's at the cottage and I'm here working. That's just always been the way that we work, and we'll be together during the week and frequently apart on weekends. Or he'll travel during the week and I'll be here with the kids. So now that the cottage is closed, the next few months will be spent mostly together. And then we'll probably be really ready for the spring to roll around and spend some time apart again. We shall see. But anyways, what that means is that I will have a little bit more time because, you know, he can take over some of the other chores like walking the dog and, you know, laundry and dishes and those kinds of things that he is amazing at just kind of handling so that I can get a few other things done. So, congratulations, Teresa. This week's giveaway is courtesy of my friend Shell, who lives in a small town that is actually on my way up to the cottage. And this summer, for the very first time, we actually met in person. And Shell handed me a stack of charts, and she said, you can use these for your giveaways. Now, some of them I think were past the stash, and some of them were charts that she has actually stitched herself. So new charts and past the stash. I'm not exactly sure which one this is. I have a feeling she has stitched this. And if you've been hanging around my channel for a while, you'll know that I also have this in my whip pile, and there's quite a good story behind it. This is the Thread and I Mandala from Ink Circles. And Thread and I was my local needlework shop up until a few years ago when Kathy and Neil retired. And I talk about them all the time because we're very good friends. And so Tracy Horner of Ink Circles designed this pattern exclusively for the shop. And I think they had it exclusively for 6 months. I think it was 6 months, maybe a little bit longer than that, before it was available for general purchase. And so when it first came out at the shop, we all started it as a stitch along. And I had great fun. I actually have and I'm not going to show it because there's quite a story to it. It's either in episode 1 or episode 2 that I talk all about it. And it's too embarrassing to talk about again. So what I'll do is I'll go and find which episode it is, and I'll put a link to it in the top there, because it's really quite embarrassing. And once you see it, you can't unsee it, but it's quite a funny story. Anyways, it's still a beautiful pattern. I just have still to fix mine. So I just have to fix it. So the way this works is, I think she offers it's the same pattern, but she offers 4 different colorway ideas. I did not follow any of these colorway ideas, and I probably should have. Maybe things would have gone a little bit better if I had. However, so on the back, I'll show you the back, because you can see you've got the 4 different versions there, and you pick one. It's kind of like choose your own adventure, and then you fill in the colors as you go. So a lovely giveaway, and thank you, Shell, for providing this for me to hand out to some other lucky stitcher. So I will have this up tonight in the Facebook group, right off the grid. Leave me a comment there, and next Monday I'll announce who this is going out to. Okay, so stitching wise for me, whips. On Friday, I worked on my Santa's Village. And when I got up on Saturday morning, I like to craft with my coffee in the morning. It's my favorite way to wake up. So our routine, and if you're a lover of routine as well, you'll appreciate this. Every morning, as soon as I get up, the routine is take the dog out, feed the dog, make the coffee, go back upstairs, sit in bed with the coffee and the knitting or the stitching. And depending on what the rest of the day is like, I take 15 minutes to half an hour in my bed with my coffee. Luna now, well, it used to be Daria until Daria couldn't go upstairs anymore. And then I actually moved my routine down to my stitching chair down here so that she could lay beside me. But Luna's big bed is now right beside my side of the bed. So Luna hops onto her bed, I hop up into my side of the bed, drink the coffee, and make the things. And just have that little bit of peace before the day starts. It's my favorite way to start my day. Sometimes I really only have 15 minutes. And then, at least I get to finish my coffee while it's still hot. But some mornings I've got an extra 15 minutes, and just that half an hour just feels like such a nice start to the day. And I am willing to wake up earlier in the morning in order to have that time. So it's worth it. Some people work out. This dog is so good for me. This Luna is so good for me because Daria did not, she could barely walk around the block for the last few years. She loved going outside, but she wasn't much of a walker the last little while. Luna is an energy ball, and she needs to be walked twice a day. And if she isn't walked twice a day, she's bored. She's bored, and she sits there and she stares at me. So she is so good for me because it's making me get outside, and it's making me walk, and not just like an amble, but she needs to go. So my knees aren't overly happy, but we're working through it, and it's good for me. I am not a natural exerciser in the least. So this is really, really good for me. She's such a good dog. Other than the, escaping from her crate. But anyways, she's a very good dog. So Saturday morning, boy, I went down a rabbit hole there, didn't I? Right. Okay. So Saturday morning, I crawled back into bed with my coffee and realized that the stitching that I really wanted to work on was over on my frame. So I took my coffee over to my stitching frame and I sat down, and I had a really happy half hour putting my few stitches in. I finished the leaves, and I'll show you in a sec. But then I got to the snow. So I guess I'll just show you. So this is Santa's Village, Country Cottage Needleworks. And that's what I already had. And then on Friday, I started the leaves. And yes, they are different colors. They're supposed to be different colors. So this is hard to show you. The two houses on either end have darker leaves, and then the two houses in the middle have lighter leaves. So it is $4.69 and $4.70, which they call light avocado and medium avocado. So yeah, they're a little bit different. I hope you can see that because I can't see a thing. So anyways, then I thought, oh, I really feel like stitching snow. So I started the snow on the new one, right there. And I'm sure you're not going to be able to tell. But in real life, my 5 new stitches are a little bit more dull than the old snow. And so I posted a picture on Facebook and I said, do you agree with me? Do you think this should be 5200 and not the white that it's called for? Because I haven't worked on this project in 2 years. Yeah, 2 years. So, could have been B5200, could have been white. So I went with white, and I think I'm wrong. So, but can I find my B5200? No, because it's in some other project. So that's why I didn't get any more snow done. So, but isn't it cute? One more look, because it's so cute. If you've been sitting on the fence about doing Santa's Village, I highly recommend it. It's such a fun stitch, and I'm losing my shawl here. I don't have it tied up, and if you look really closely, there's still an end somewhere that I haven't woven in. That's okay. It's so cozy. I was watching. I watched a bunch of Flosstube this weekend. It was so fun. One that sticks out at me because I'm encouraging you about Santa's Village was Brian Blitzstitch, and he is starting. It's the Red House sampler, Brenda Keys, and that's going to be his January 1st start. And he said, you know, for those of you who have been wanting to stitch this, he said, consider this your push. Consider this your little push into to getting it and joining in with me for a stitch along. And I thought, you know, every time Brian shows that Red House sampler, I think how gorgeous it is. And then I think, you do not need another stitch along because you can't even do the stitch alongs that you're already in. What are you, crazy? But it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And then I was watching, you see, I didn't used to watch Flosstube when I sewed because 2 reasons. It would make me feel like I was missing out because I wanted to go stitch. Made me want to go stitch, but I have to sew, which I also love doing. So I tried watching sewing podcasts, but I don't know, they're just not the same. Knitting podcasts work really well because, I don't know, you can just listen to the chatter. But then I thought, you know, to heck with it because I'm missing so much Flosstube because I sew a lot. And so I thought, okay, just think about it differently. Just think about it as company. Well, then I put on Brenda and the Cereal Starter. Laura. I can't sew while they are talking to me because I want to make everything that they show. And I have 1 or 2 samplers. I own a couple of samplers to stitch. I don't own any real samplers, but when I'm watching them, all of a sudden I want to be a sampler stitcher. I want to give up everything. I don't want to give away anything because I love everything that I have. I love my stash, everything in it. I want to stitch everything that's in it. But all of a sudden, I want to buy all the samplers. And I want to stitch all the samplers. And I thought, I can't watch you. I can't watch you right now because, you know, we go through those phases in our lives where sometimes, you know, we're okay with just buying 1 or 2 things and that scratches an itch and we're satisfied. And then there may be other times during the month where we feel like maybe that might be a really good idea to go online shopping at 1 in the morning and buy 10 charts. I don't know. So yeah, Brenda and the Cereal Starter. I want to stitch all the samplers now. I don't know how they did it, but boy, oh boy, what phenomenal stitching. Phenomenal. Okay, so anyways, where was I? Complete rabbit hole. Complete rabbit hole. Right, Brian. So Brian has encouraged me. I am truly considering buying that Red House, the Red House sampler because it's stunning. So let me know if you too are maybe thinking you might join Brian. And I'll see. Maybe I can be pushed over the edge. But Santa's Village, happy to encourage anybody who wants to join in. And, you know, it's one of those pieces that you can let it sit for 2 years and come right back to it and you'll still love it just as much. Look at the little Santa. I know for a fact that Melanie Watkins' Soulful Stitching group on Facebook and also her Flosstube, she, Year of Whips, check it out because it sounds like fun. And she has just restarted her Santa's Village because she saw me working on mine on Friday. So I like that. I'm glad, Melanie. Glad you're working on it again or restarting it. Okay, the other thing that I worked on that I was sharing on the Facebook group on Friday is my, where did my chart go? Ink Circles damask square. The reason why I am making an emphasis on, like, do you remember that? An emphasis on my words is because I wasn't positive that I was pronouncing it correctly because I was calling it damask. And I was sure that I'd heard it said another way. But let's face it, it's not exactly a word that comes up often in conversation. But I had a funny feeling I was pronouncing it wrong. And I was. And so I asked, because I don't mind being corrected if it's gentle and done with, you know, genuine affection. I asked because I would like to be correct. And yes, indeed, it is damask. So now we all know how to pronounce it correctly. So when you, if you would like to stitch along with me, the Ink Circles damask square, you'll know how to pronounce it properly as well. So, and I think that matters. I think that matters that we pronounce things the way that they're meant to be. I don't know. It pleases me. So you ready to see what I've got done? Let me see. I'll get this. This is, it needs an iron, but you know what I mean. So there we go. That's where I'm at. And so this, on Friday, during my 6-hour stitch-in, I completed the side one here, and I did the full one at the bottom, and then I did these 4 corners in here, and then I started this, this right up here. Started the middle motif that's gonna go in the corners. So it's coming along. It's coming along. I'm pretty pleased with it. I might actually finish it in time to gift it for Christmas, as long as I don't work on anything else. That's the plan. So, oh my goodness. That is it. So, I have a fair bit of sewing to do. And, oh, look. My words are failing me. The shop model right there, that's Lindy Stitch's new pattern, just released today, and with the Evertote kit. I know I said I wasn't going to promote it in this video because I did a whole other video on it. If you're interested in anything that's in the shop right now, there's a whole other video about it, so I'm not going to talk about the bags. But I am going to mention Stephanie's pattern again. And the shop model that Crafty Kim stitched for me, I have a feeling I put it near a heat register, not like near, but I think it was above where the heat was going up, and I think the heat has dried out the glue on the back of the one side, and so I have to fix it because it has fallen down. She's put it on magnets, and it's the magnet that's attached to the board that the glue has dried out. Totally my fault for where I had it sitting, not Kim's fault. It wasn't a design flaw. It was a user error. So Stephanie's pattern, that's the pattern that comes with the kit. I'm going to be starting mine on Friday as a stitch along, and I have to get it done. So it's probably going to be one of the very few stitch alongs that I'm in that I'm going to finish, because I tell you, I'm going to be done that ornament in time for Flossmas. Now, I don't say when in Flossmas. Let's give myself a little bit of wiggle room, but it's going to be done. So I'm going to be starting that this Friday if you care to join in. And that's it. That really is it. I better go. Family's going to be home soon, and they're going to expect dinner and all kinds of things. It's going to be nice to see them again. So we'll have a nice family dinner. My father-in-law is coming as well this evening, and then I'm gonna put my headphones on and listen to my audiobook, and so it's gonna be a really nice night. So I wish you the best. happy Monday, happy stitching, and I'll see you on Friday for Friday Off the Grid.